crisis is occurring right now in the United States. This is not just the inflation numbers or the unemployment numbers. It is in everything, in every category. Absolutely, you'll see that. I'll go over some of those things today, and this is the reality of the situation under Emperor Obama. He actually had the audacity to lie to the American public and say that by almost every measure, we are better off than when I took office. Now, this is pretty fraudulent. This is obvious lies, but yet here he is speaking against the sheeple, telling them that everything is okay. Just trust in me. In my book, I quoted Franklin Roosevelt saying, "The success or failure of any government must be measured by the well-being of its citizens." This is in the chapter on unemployment, how it's getting worse, how the government statistics do not show what the reality is, and how there are individuals like, for example, John Williams from Shadow Stats breaking down the reality. Let's go into these things right here. I'll go through them very quickly, try to keep this video short for you. Record number of Americans not in the labor force in June. I brought up this before in a previous video. Just going to bring it up very briefly and just say that, look, you have nearly 100 million people not in the labor force. This is an extremely high number, and that means that the other 2/3 of the country, essentially, they have to pick up the slack for the rest. That's the way this works. So you have really this huge amount of people not in the workforce, but they skew the numbers because they keep showing you the unemployment numbers, but we all know the reality of that situation. Let's go on quickly. 37.2% not in the labor force remains at a 36-year high. We're talking about nearly 4 decades away that we had this high. They said everything was getting better, but ultimately you can see it getting worse. I'm going to go on. Price index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs rocket to all-time high. Obama, what exactly were you talking about when you said everything was better? The most essential thing, your food, the things you need to eat every day to survive, is reaching all-time high in terms of prices. Now, what exactly is this? Is this the meat's getting better and the fish getting better and so on and so forth? Absolutely not. In fact, it's probably worse now. However, they're basically inflated because of all the money that's being printed all around the world, and then the prices rise, and that is the symptom. Rising prices are the symptom of inflation. Inflation is the money printing. That's exactly what it is. So let's go on. Obama's balloon federal student loan debt is up 517% in 5 years. The federal student loans are $1 trillion balloon, a bubble right now, and it is not going to be get fixed at all. It's going to probably have to get bailed out, and that's just the way things go. You know, they'll bail them out, and who knows what else they'll bail out. I mean, they've bailed out Canadian banks, and they've bailed out institutions and banks all around the world. So why not bail out the student loans for the US? It seems like a logical scenario. So let's go on. Debt up $6.666 trillion under Obama, and this was earlier this year. You have the debt skyrocketing, and that's because they continuously raise the debt ceiling and just continue to spend. There are no cuts. Whenever they talk about cuts, what they're cutting is actually the amount that they promise to or suggest that they will spend. So they say have a budget of, let's say, $5 trillion this year. Okay, we'll cut back on that, and we'll only spend 4.5 trillion. And that's the way it works. They're not actually cutting from the amount they're currently spending. They're just going to spend a bit less than they initially proposed, supposedly. But of course, with these whole debt ceiling fiascos that we continuously have, it always occurs. Major regulations 153% higher in first 5 years under Obama than Bush. And George Bush was terrible, but under Obama, it is extremely bad. You have these additional regulations that basically bog down the economy. Every single regulation, all these laws they enact only make it worse. They need to repeal the laws, and that would make it much better. It would make it more sensible, and it would be more freedom, there would be more liberty, and everything would make a lot more sense. But yet, under Obama, things are undoubtedly getting worse. I hope you like this video. I tried to keep it as short as possible for you guys. I respect your time. If you like this type of video, please give me a thumbs up. I'm really liking all the shares, and I'm trying to get back to all the commenters. There are so many comments, but I try to do what I can and get back to as many as I can. I love all the positive feedback I'm getting. Thank you very much. If you want to be an insider, that's where all the best intel is. That is at themoneygps.com at the bottom. You fill in your email address and you'll get occasional emails from me, and I try to keep those emails nice and short, just like these videos here. And I'll see you soon. Take care.